Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am making a Christmas themed candy cane shaped wreath. All right, let's jump into it. I picked up the wreath form or frame at the Dollar Tree. We will be using 12 packages total of this mesh tubing from the Dollar Tree. Feel free to get creative with your own color selections. And we are going to need some scissors to cut our pipe cleaners in half. The color of the pipe cleaner does not matter, as it does not show when the project is complete. I'm using gold because they're already cut in half for me. Next, I am using my yardstick here to help me take some tape and mark a 28-inch area on my workspace. So that is easier for me to cut all of that tubing into the 28-inch strips we will need. And now we are on to the cutting. I am going to demonstrate two different ways to get all of your mesh tubing cut because all of it does need to be in the 28-inch strips. The first option you see here is to take 1, 2, 3, however many you feel comfortable with, and use the tape lines we created, and you just keep stretching it out to that 28-inch tape mark you made and cutting it. Okay, and this is our second option for cutting all the 28-inch strips. I happen to have this fabric cutting guide, which just magically happened to be 14 inches. So I noticed that when I wrap it around one side and down the other, that equals the 28 inches I need. So I went ahead and wrapped the whole thing of tubing around this 14-inch plastic. So I wrapped the entire bundles until there was nothing left around that 14-inch plastic frame. I'm cutting or trimming the ends off, the extra. And from there, I am just going to cut completely through all of the tubing on the other side, giving me 28-inch strips. So anywho, it's completely up to you how you want to accomplish cutting the 28-inch strips. What's important is that at the end of it, we end up with 12 packages of all that tubing cut into 28-inch strips. All right, here we are pretty much on take 1,000,000. I'm gonna run through this once and it better work because I'm over recording this. So now we are on to making the smaller bundles, which when they're all pressed together on the frame, create the final wreath look. Each one of those bundles is made up of 4 of the 28-inch strips that we cut out earlier. You're going to take it in one hand and accordion style those 4 strands together as many times as you can back and forth. At least twice, preferably 3 and 4. The more times you get it to loop back and forth, the thicker the final project will be on your wreath. Let me go ahead and show you another one real quick. So it is 4 strips of mesh tubing, and we accordion style it back and forth in our hands. Once we're done with that, we're going to take our half of a pipe cleaner, pinching the middle of that as much as we can, and twist our pipe cleaner around the middle. We do want the ends as long as we can, as that is what we use to attach these bundles to the frame in the end. I'll show you one more bundle just so you can watch my hands throughout the process. Okay, and from here we just keep making bundles. And some more bundles. And some more bundles. And finally, some more bundles. There is no set final number of bundles required. Just keep making bundles until you run out of sets of 4 strands to use. Now that all of our bundles are done, we're going to start attaching them to the frame. You're going to stick to the 2 middle posts all the way down the frame. Completely ignore both of the outside ones. Once you have enough bundles on there, it's just going to cover them completely on its own. So for now and for the duration of the project, just stick with those 2 inside posts. I'm attaching them using just the remaining ends exposed of the pipe cleaners that we used to twist the bundles in the first place. Don't worry if they're able to slide around a little bit. You might actually prefer this so that you can move them around in the end to make sure you're filling in the bunch to the best of your ability. And we just keep on with this technique all the way around and down our candy cane shaped frame. So I wanted to stop here. You will see that I skipped a couple of the bars when making the candy cane shape. I just wanted to make sure that the bundles I had made weren't too thick and I wasn't going to lose that arch shape of the candy cane because this is my first time making this wreath. Once I got 1 or 2 of those bundles on the opposite side of the frame, I was able to see that I was still going to keep the main candy cane shape. And from there, I was able to continue on just filling in all the gaps. I wanted to add in here also that there was no set amount of bundles per bar on this wreath. I just filled them in until it looked full enough for me to move on to the next. Here I am adding what I think is my last bundle to the wreath. Looking pretty good. You are going to want to go through with your fingers like I am and kind of bunch things up and move it around to make sure that you are covering up the frame completely. All right, pretty excited. I found those other two bundles I had dropped on the floor. I am not putting them any spot specifically. I'm just taking a look at my frame and seeing where the baldest area is and making sure I take advantage of those two extra bundles left for me magically on the floor. I'm just going around making some final adjustments, squishing some bundles around, moving them strategically up and down to cover up the frame completely. Bum 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 bum. All right, now I'm going in with my scissors and just cutting all the rough ends, any end that does not loop back around into the wreath. I'm trying to get rid of. They're pretty easy to stretch out and cut. You don't really have to cut all the way down to the pipe cleaner. Just pull it out a little bit, cut it, it'll snap back and kind of hide itself in the frame. Mmm, mmm, mmm. That is one good looking Christmas wreath. All right, and we could be done there, but I did my very best to make this bow. I did not include that in the video because it was my first bow ever. It did not turn out the way I wanted, but it's a Christmas bow. So all I did was hot glue a full-length pipe cleaner to the back of my Christmas bow, and I hid it in the frame and attached it to the back of the Christmas wreath, just like we did all the bundles in the beginning. And it doesn't have to be a bow. You can put whatever you want there. You could have put like little ornaments for a Christmas tree all through it, smaller candy canes all over it. I had quite a few other ideas, but this is the first of many wreaths for the season. And we are done with my first Christmas craft of this season. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. I appreciate all the love and support. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas. Bum, 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 bum. ba ba bum bum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum ba da da dum da 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 dum da